I got a question for you. How safe is the poultry on your plate? Salmonella is the leading cause of foodborne illness, and the Department of Agriculture backed off of a proposed rule to strengthen safety standards when it comes to raw poultry.
If you think cooking chicken is just seasoning it and tossing it in a pan, you've been missing techniques Chinese cooks have refined for centuries. Chinese chefs and grandmothers turned ordinary chicken into something silky, tender, and packed with flavor, using tricks most Western kitchens have never even heard of. Today, we're counting down 31 clever chicken tricks that will genuinely blow your mind and make your cooking easier than ever. And stay until the end, because number 1 is the complete system professional Chinese chefs use to guarantee juicy chicken every single time. Number 31. The ice bath shock. Most people pull poached chicken straight onto a cutting board and let it cool slowly in the open air. Cooks across Hainan Island, the birthplace of the famous poached chicken dish that traveled across all of Southeast Asia, plunge the whole bird straight into a bowl of ice water the moment it finishes poaching. Fill a large bowl with ice and cold water. Submerge the cooked chicken completely for 10 minutes immediately after removing it from the pot. The sudden temperature drop causes the collagen layer just beneath the skin to contract rapidly, tightening the skin against the meat, instead of letting it sit loose and soft. The skin comes out taut, glossy, and almost jelly-like, exactly the texture this dish is famous for. Number 30. Baking soda, dry brine for skin. Most people rely on deep frying alone to get crispy chicken skin, never touching the raw skin beforehand. Pat chicken pieces completely dry. Rub half a teaspoon of baking soda per pound directly into the skin. Place uncovered on a wire rack in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours, ideally overnight. The baking soda raises the surface alkalinity of the skin, breaking down proteins and pulling moisture out far more effectively than salt alone. Cantonese roast meat shops across Hong Kong have used alkaline dry brining on duck and chicken skin for generations, long before any oven existed in most home kitchens. The skin that comes out of the oven or fryer is shatteringly crispy, deeply golden, and completely free of any sogginess underneath. Number 29. The blanching reset. Raw chicken pieces, especially bone-in cuts, carry surface blood and impurities that cloud a finished broth or stew if left untouched. As the chicken hits boiling water, surface proteins undergo rapid coagulation, forming a gray foam that traps blood and impurities before they ever spread into the rest of the dish. Home cooks across Sichuan province blanch chicken before almost every braise or soup, treating the step as completely non-negotiable regardless of how long the actual cooking takes. Place chicken pieces into a pot of cold water. Bring to a boil for 2 minutes. Discard the water completely and rinse the chicken under cool running water. What goes into your final dish comes out cleaner, clearer, and noticeably free of any cloudy residue. Number 28. Egg white velveting. Restaurant chefs across Guangzhou rely on this exact technique to give thin sliced chicken breast that signature silky, almost slippery texture found in nearly every Cantonese stir-fry. Slice 200 grams of chicken breast thin against the grain. Coat in 1 egg white, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Let sit for 15 minutes. The egg white coating undergoes gentle denaturation when it briefly hits warm oil, forming a thin protective seal around each piece before the chicken itself ever touches high heat. Most home cooks skip this step entirely and stir-fry chicken breast directly, leaving it dry and stringy by the time it finishes cooking. Drop the coated chicken into oil heated to 160 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 seconds, then remove. The texture is silky, tender, and almost slippery in the best possible way. Number 27. The cornstarch seal. Most people season chicken pieces and drop them directly into hot oil with nothing protecting the surface. Street food vendors across Fujian province dust their chicken pieces in a thin, even layer of cornstarch immediately before frying, treating it as the single difference between greasy chicken and genuinely crisp chicken. The starch molecules on the surface undergo rapid gelatinization on contact with hot oil, forming a light, crisp shell that seals in moisture almost instantly. Pat chicken pieces dry. Toss in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch per pound until lightly coated. Shake off the excess before frying at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 minutes. The chicken comes out with a light, crackling shell while staying juicy and tender all the way through. Number 26. Shaoxing wine marinade. Most recipes call for generic cooking wine or skip the wine step entirely, missing an entire layer of flavor and odor control. Households across Shaoxing, the city the wine is named after, have marinated poultry in this fermented rice wine for centuries, treating it as essential rather than optional. Mix 2 tablespoons of Shaoxing wine with 1 teaspoon of grated ginger and a pinch of white pepper. Coat your chicken pieces and let sit for 20 minutes before cooking. The wine's natural esters and acids help emulsification between the marinade's fat and liquid components, allowing flavor to coat the meat surface more evenly than plain water-based marinades ever achieve. The chicken comes out clean-smelling, deeply savory, and completely free of any gamey edge. Number 25. The salt massage. Poultry vendors across Guangdong province rub coarse salt directly into raw chicken skin before rinsing it away, a step considered standard long before the chicken ever touches a marinade. Most people season chicken only on the surface and never address the proteins sitting just beneath the skin. Rub 2 tablespoons of coarse salt firmly across the chicken skin and into any cavities. Let sit for 5 minutes, then rinse thoroughly under cold water and pat dry. The salt triggers an enzymatic breakdown of surface compounds responsible for poultry's natural gamey smell, drawing them out along with excess moisture before rinsing. What remains is chicken that smells clean, neutral, and ready to absorb whatever seasoning comes next. Number 24. The double fry method. Night market vendors across Taipei never fry chicken just once. No matter how busy the stall gets during peak hours, fry chicken pieces at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 minutes. Remove and rest for 5 minutes. Then fry again at 375 degrees for 2 minutes. Most home cooks fry once at high heat and end up with skin that turns soft again within minutes of leaving the oil. The resting period between fries allows residual moisture to migrate outward through osmosis. And the second fry rapidly evaporates that surface moisture for a shell that holds its texture far longer. The chicken comes out shatteringly crunchy and stays crisp long after it leaves the fryer. Stay with me, because number 16 is coming up, and it solves a problem almost everyone runs into when roasting a whole chicken at home. Number 23. Pounding for even thickness. Home cooks across Beijing flatten the thick end of a chicken breast before cooking, treating uneven thickness as the single biggest reason home-cooked chicken turns out dry in one spot and undercooked in another. Place the chicken breast between 2 sheets of plastic wrap. Use a meat mallet or the bottom of a heavy pan to pound the thicker end until the entire piece measures roughly ½ an inch thick throughout. Most people cook chicken breast exactly as it comes from the package, accepting whatever uneven shape it has. Even thickness means heat penetrates the meat at a consistent rate, triggering the Maillard reaction evenly across the entire surface, instead of browning only the thin edges first. The chicken cooks through completely at the same time, coming out juicy and evenly golden from edge to edge. Number 22. Cutting against the grain. Most people slice chicken in whatever direction is fastest, never checking which way the muscle fibers actually run. Butchers and chefs across Sichuan province always identify the direction of the muscle fibers, first slicing directly across them rather than along their length. Look closely at the surface of the chicken piece. Identify the long parallel lines running through the meat. Position your knife perpendicular to those lines and slice straight across in pieces about 1 centimeter thick. Cutting across the grain shortens the individual muscle fibers in each bite, breaking down the hydrolysis-resistant structure that makes meat feel tough and stringy when chewed along its length. Every piece comes out tender, easy to chew, and noticeably more pleasant than chicken sliced the wrong way. Number 21. The 5-minute rest. Most people slice chicken the instant it comes off the heat, watching the juices pool out onto the cutting board. Cooks across Hong Kong's roast meat shops always let a whole bird rest before the first cut, treating the wait as part of the cooking process rather than a delay. Move the cooked chicken to a clean plate. Let it sit untouched for 5 full minutes before slicing. During the rest, the juices that were pushed toward the surface during cooking spread back through the meat through diffusion, settling evenly rather than escaping the moment the knife goes in. Each slice comes out noticeably juicier with almost nothing lost onto the board. Number 20. Ginger scallion oil drizzle. This finishing oil is poured directly over poached chicken across nearly every Cantonese restaurant in Hong Kong, considered as essential as the chicken itself. Mince 2 tablespoons of ginger and 2 tablespoons of scallion. Place in a heat-proof bowl with a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Most home cooks finish chicken with nothing more than a splash of soy sauce, skipping this layer entirely. Heat 3 tablespoons of neutral oil until lightly smoking, then pour it directly over the ginger and scallion. The sudden heat triggers rapid volatilization of their aromatic compounds, releasing fragrance instantly rather than gradually. The chicken arrives fragrant, glossy, and unmistakably restaurant quality. Number 19. Rendering chicken fat. Restaurant kitchens across Shanghai save every trimmed piece of chicken skin and fat rather than discarding it, treating it as a valuable cooking ingredient on its own. Place trimmed chicken fat and skin in a cold pan with 2 tablespoons of water. Heat on low for 20 minutes, stirring occasionally until the fat fully liquefies and the solids turn golden and crisp. Most people throw chicken skin and fat straight into the trash without a second thought. Slow, steady conduction melts the fat gradually rather than scorching it, producing a clean, usable cooking fat instead of a burnt, bitter one. Strain and store in the refrigerator. The fat comes out golden, rich, and deeply savory in everything you cook with it. Next, number 18, the charred aromatics broth. Most people add raw ginger and scallion directly into a pot of chicken stock, never touching them with flame. First, home cooks across Sichuan province char their aromatics over an open burner before they ever touch the stock pot, considering the step the real source of a broth's depth. Hold whole scallions and a thick slice of ginger directly over a gas flame for 90 seconds per side until the surface blackens. The direct heat caramelization on the surface of the aromatics develops deep, complex compounds that plain raw ginger and scallion never produce. Add the charred pieces to your simmering stock. The broth that results is deep, smoky, and remarkably rich. Number 17. Soy sauce chicken brine. Restaurant kitchens across Guangzhou keep a single pot of spiced soy liquid running for weeks, reusing and topping it up rather than making a fresh batch for every chicken. Combine 1 cup of light soy sauce, half a cup of dark soy sauce, 2 tablespoons of rock sugar, 2-star anise, and 4 cups of water in a deep pot. Bring to a simmer. Most people brine chicken once and discard the liquid immediately afterward, losing the depth that builds over repeated use. Submerge a whole chicken in the simmering liquid, turn off the heat, and let it poach gently for 40 minutes. As the natural fermentation compounds already present in the soy sauce continue developing flavor even off the heat. The chicken comes out mahogany dark, deeply savory, and tender all the way to the bone. Hit that subscribe button right now, because number 5 is coming up, and it is the trick that changes how you season chicken from the inside out. Number 16. Spatchcocking for faster roasting. Roast meat shops across Guangzhou rarely cook a whole chicken sitting upright in the oven, preferring to flatten it first. Using kitchen shears, cut along both sides of the backbone and remove it completely. Press down firmly on the breastbone until the chicken lies flat. Most home cooks roast a whole chicken upright, leaving the breast exposed to direct heat while the thighs sit shielded underneath. A flattened bird allows hot air to move through convection evenly across the entire surface at once, instead of cooking the top long before the bottom catches up. The chicken comes out evenly golden, juicy throughout, and ready noticeably faster than a whole roasted bird. Number 15. The dry skin trick. Most people pull chicken straight from the package and season it while the skin is still damp. Pat the chicken completely dry with paper towels. Place it uncovered on a wire rack in the refrigerator for at least 8 hours, ideally overnight. Roast meat chefs across Hong Kong air dry duck and chicken skin before any high heat cooking, treating moisture removal as the real secret behind crackling skin. The extended exposure to cold circulating air drives slow dehydration across the surface layer, leaving almost no moisture behind to create steam once heat is applied. Whatever cooking method follows, the skin turns out shatteringly crisp instead of soft or rubbery. Number 14. Baking soda. Velveting. Thigh meat can turn dense and chewy if cooked without any preparation, a problem most people simply accept as part of using darker cuts. Chefs across Sichuan province often reach for baking soda, specifically on tougher cuts like thigh meat, where the more familiar egg white method does not soften the texture enough on its own. Dissolve half a teaspoon of baking soda into 1 tablespoon of water. Rub it across 200 grams of diced thigh meat. Let sit for 20 minutes, then rinse thoroughly before marinating as usual. The alkaline solution triggers proteolysis along the meat's surface, loosening the tightly bound fibers that normally make thigh meat feel dense. The texture that follows is noticeably softer, more tender, and far closer to velveted breast meat. Number 13. The clay pot double cook. Home cooks across Guangdong province almost never finish chicken in a single step. When a clay pot is involved, sear seasoned chicken pieces in a hot pan for 3 minutes per side until lightly browned. Transfer to a clay pot with 1 cup of stock, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and sliced ginger. Cover and simmer on low heat for 30 minutes. Most people either sear chicken and serve it immediately or simmer it from raw, never combining both steps. The slow simmer inside the clay pot gradually raises the viscosity of the sauce as it reduces, allowing the flavor to cling to every piece of meat rather than sitting thin at the bottom. The chicken comes out deeply infused, tender, and coated in a sauce that is rich and clinging. Number 12. The second stock. Most people discard chicken bones the moment the first batch of stock is strained, assuming nothing useful remains. Households across Fujian province routinely return already used bones to the pot for a second simmer, treating one chicken carcass as the source of 2 separate batches of broth. Place the same bones back into a pot with 8 cups of fresh water. Simmer gently for 2 hours, skimming occasionally. The remaining collagen in the bones continues breaking down through gradual gelation, releasing just enough body and flavor for a lighter, secondary stock. What results is a broth that is lighter, cleaner, and still genuinely flavorful, despite reusing the same bones. Number 11. The wok steam method. Home cooks across Chaozhou rely on this improvised setup whenever a proper steamer is not available, treating a wok with a makeshift rack as just as capable as any specialized equipment. The trapped steam transfers latent heat as it condenses against the cooler chicken surface, delivering gentle, consistent warmth without ever drying out the meat. Most people assume you need a dedicated steamer to steam a whole chicken at home. Place 3 balled-up sheets of foil or a small upside-down bowl in the bottom of a wok. Add 2 cups of water. Set a heat-proof plate with the chicken on top. Cover tightly and steam over medium heat for 35 minutes. The chicken comes out moist, tender, and carries a delicate steamed aroma that fills the kitchen. Number 10. Flat bag marinating. Most people marinate chicken in a deep bowl where only the bottom layer ever really sits in the liquid. Place chicken pieces and marinade into a zip-top bag. Press out as much air as possible before sealing. Lay the bag flat in the refrigerator rather than standing it upright. Massage gently every 15 minutes. Removing the air forces direct contact between the marinade and every surface of the meat, accelerating the ion exchange that pulls salt and flavor compounds deep into the muscle far faster than a bowl ever allows. Households across Beijing have prepped marinated chicken this way for decades, long before vacuum sealers became common in any kitchen. In half the usual time, the chicken comes out deeply flavored and evenly seasoned all the way through. Number 9. The cold start poach. Place a whole chicken into a pot and cover completely with cold water. Add 3 slices of ginger and 1 scallion. Bring slowly to a bare simmer over 20 minutes, then turn off the heat completely and let the chicken sit covered for 25 minutes. Most people drop chicken directly into boiling water, expecting faster results. Cooks across Hainan Island, where white-cut chicken is treated almost like a science, insist that starting in cold water is the only way to achieve a truly tender bird. The very gradual thermal gradient allows proteins throughout the meat to set slowly and evenly, avoiding the tough, rubbery texture caused by plunging chicken directly into boiling water. The chicken comes out silky, tender, and remarkably moist from edge to bone. Drop a comment right now with which one of these 31 tricks you are most excited to try. We are almost to the final 3, and they are worth the wait. Number 8. The chopstick oil test. Tiny bubbles forming steadily around a wooden chopstick signal active nucleation, the exact point at which oil has reached the right temperature for frying. Heat your oil in a wok or deep pan. Insert the tip of a dry wooden chopstick straight down into the oil. Watch closely for a steady stream of small bubbles rising around it. Street food vendors across Taiwanese night markets have used this exact test for generations, long before kitchen thermometers were affordable or common. Most people guess oil temperature by sight alone, or rely on an expensive thermometer. Once the bubbles appear steady and fine, the oil is ready, and whatever you fry next comes out perfectly golden and never greasy. Number 7. Hot wok cold oil. Cantonese stir-fry. Cooks across Guangdong province live by this exact sequence, treating it as the real secret behind a stir-fry that never sticks. Most people heat their oil first and add it to a cold pan, then wonder why everything sticks immediately. Heating the bare metal first, then adding cold oil, creates a brief vapor layer between the food and the surface, the instant the chicken touches the pan, a version of the Leidenfrost effect at work in everyday cooking. Heat your empty wok over high heat for 90 seconds until it lightly smokes. Add 2 tablespoons of cold oil. Swirl immediately. Then add your chicken right away. The chicken sears instantly, releases cleanly from the surface, and comes out beautifully seared with no sticking at all. Number 6. The warming pairing. Simmer chicken pieces with 8 to 10 dried goji berries and 4 thick slices of ginger directly in your broth, or stew for the last 20 minutes of cooking. Traditional Chinese medicine kitchens across Guangdong province pair chicken with ginger and goji berries specifically during the colder months. Believing the combination keeps the body warm and balanced, goji berries carry naturally high concentrations of antioxidant compounds, which many Chinese households associate with supporting overall wellness through the colder season. Most people treat goji berries as a garnish thrown on at the very end, never actually cooking them into the dish. The broth comes out subtly sweet, fragrant, and noticeably warming with every spoonful. Number 5. The ginger scallion paste rub. Most people rub seasoning only onto the outer skin of a chicken, where most of it simply slides off in the pan or steamer. The skin's relatively low permeability means seasoning applied only on the surface barely reaches the muscle underneath, especially during a relatively short steam or roast. Home cooks across Hainan Island work a coarse paste of minced ginger and scallion directly between the skin and the flesh before steaming, a step considered essential rather than optional. Blend 2 tablespoons of minced ginger, 2 tablespoons of minced scallion, and 1 teaspoon of salt into a rough paste. Gently loosen the skin with your fingers and push the paste directly onto the flesh underneath. Steam as usual. The chicken comes out deeply fragrant and intensely flavored all the way to the bone. Number 4. 3 yellow chicken selection. The deep yellow color prized in skin, feet, and fat comes from naturally occurring carotenoid pigments concentrated through a diet rich in corn and other yellow feed, not from any artificial coloring. Shoppers at wet markets across Guangdong province judge a quality bird specifically by checking that the skin, the feet, and the fat all carry the same rich yellow tone together, a standard known locally as 3 yellow chicken. Look closely at the chicken's feet, the visible fat just under the skin, and the skin itself. All 3 should match in tone, ranging from pale gold to deep amber. Most shoppers only glance at the skin color and ignore the feet and fat entirely, missing 2/3 of the actual signal. A bird that passes this test consistently tastes richer, more flavorful, and noticeably more tender once cooked. Now, these last 3 are the most powerful tricks on this entire list. If you remember nothing else from today, remember these. Number 3. Congee from the carcass. Households across Guangzhou never throw away a chicken carcass after the meat has been picked clean, treating the bones as the foundation for tomorrow's breakfast. Place the leftover carcass directly into a pot with 1 cup of rice and 8 cups of water. Simmer on low heat for 90 minutes, stirring occasionally until the rice breaks down completely. Most people discard the carcass entirely once the meat is gone, missing an entire second meal, hiding in the bones. The long simmer slowly breaks down amylopectin within the rice starch, releasing it gradually into the broth and thickening the congee into a smooth, creamy texture. The congee that results is silky, deeply savory, and comforting, in a way instant versions never achieve. Number 2. The skin separation technique. Starting at the neck opening, slide 2 fingers gently between the skin and the breast meat, working slowly in small circular motions until the skin lifts free across the entire breast and into the thighs. Most people either leave the skin completely untouched or tear it accidentally while trying to season underneath. Chicken skin contains a flexible layer of elastin that allows it to stretch and separate cleanly from the muscle without tearing, as long as the motion stays slow and steady rather than forceful. Chefs across Hong Kong's roast meat kitchens separate the skin on nearly every bird before seasoning, treating torn skin as a visible mark of careless preparation. Once separated, you can rub paste, marinade, or seasoning directly onto the flesh, while the skin stays completely intact for roasting. Number 1. The Complete Moisture Lock System, the most powerful chicken secret of all. Chefs across Guangzhou's professional kitchens have never relied on a single trick to guarantee juicy chicken. They have always followed a complete sequence, applied in order, on nearly every piece of chicken that leaves the kitchen. Most people pick one trick from this list and assume that alone solves the problem. That approach only gets you part of the way there. Here is the complete system. Start with the salt massage. Rub coarse salt into the skin, then rinse it away completely. Next, apply the velvet coating. Coat the meat in egg white, cornstarch, and a pinch of salt, letting it rest for 15 minutes before it ever touches heat. The coating works directly with the myosin proteins in the meat, helping them hold onto moisture under high heat instead of squeezing it out. Cook the chicken using whichever method your dish calls for. Once it comes off the heat, do not skip the final step. Rest it for 5 full minutes before cutting. Salt massage, velvet coating. Cook, 5-minute rest. Every dish you apply this full sequence to comes out juicier, more tender, and more consistently perfect than anything made with just one isolated trick. This is the system that changes everything. BA, Onis, the reusable master broth. Combine the charred ginger and scallion from item 18, the bones from your second stock in item 12, and the spiced soy liquid from item 17 into one large stock pot. Simmer everything together gently for 2 hours. Strain completely and store the liquid in the refrigerator in a sealed container. Every time you cook chicken, return a portion of this liquid to a pot, add fresh aromatics, and use it to poach, braise, or steep your next batch. Top it up with fresh stock and seasoning each time, rather than starting over. Restaurant kitchens across Hong Kong have kept master stock pots running continuously for decades, some passed down through multiple generations of the same family business, growing richer with every single use. The flavor this builds, over weeks and months, is something no single fresh batch could ever replicate on its own. And that's exactly why we make these videos for you. If today's breakdown helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another guide like this one. We've got more deep dives coming your way, from the hidden secrets of Chinese egg tricks to 31 clever pork belly hacks that will completely change how you cook at home. And click the video on the left, you're going to love it. Drop a comment below with the one chicken trick you're trying first. Let's see which one wins. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay nourished, and keep cooking.